attract, retain, and engage young professionals in the Greater Lawrence area. Now, this is the mission of the Greater Lawrence Young Professionals Network, which is a network of local young professionals from the Lawrence area looking to give back. Now, they were founded in 2010 when a small but dedicated group of college graduates returned to their city of Lawrence and felt the need to empower the next generation of local young professionals and also to take more ownership of their surrounding community. Now, to tell us more about this organization, we've invited El Presidente, the president, the founder, Pavel Payano, currently the president of the organization. Pavel is also an adjunct professor at Merrimack College, so he stayed in town. And Quin, the network's vice president and also a teacher in the Lawrence Public School. And we also got a late-minute confirmation, and the treasurer who writes a check, I don't know if there's money in the bank, Liz Mulcahy, treasurer. And now what do you do for a living, Liz?
I work for the retail department at Newburyport Bank.
Okay, Newburyport Bank. So we got to get them a shout out as well. So, guys, I'm excited because there's a lot of people excited about, this whole Viva Lawrence, and you guys are the next generation. Pavel, you're kind of getting a little bit up there in age. So I want you to tell me a little bit about the younger generation coming up.
Well, yeah, I just hit 30, so you're right.
Yeah.
We started off about 5 years ago. Quin and myself are the co-founders of the organization. So I was 25, Quin was 24, and essentially it was what you just said. It was to try to retrain and attract young professionals and engage them in the community. We found that there was a lot of us in the area, and we had a certain power. Once we started connecting and talking to each other and doing all these events, we saw the power that we have with each other, and it's all about trying to move that forward.
Yeah. Now, Quin, in the beginning, I remember, and I've heard both of you speak. You did a great presentation last year at the annual gala, and you spoke recently at a Viva Lawrence event. That you guys didn't know that there was this many out there until you started getting out there and you started getting in contact. How's that been going along over the last couple of years?
Yeah, so it's been great. That is very true. You just don't know. There's really no data out there that you can rely upon to figure out exactly how many young professionals reside in a certain area. But all we did, with the help of social networking, getting the word out, word of mouth, we found that as soon as we started organizing and doing different types of events, it was kind of like a synergy that was developed where people just started kind of coming out of the woodwork and saying, oh, wow, so there really is something to do if you're a young professional in the Merrimack Valley region or in the Greater Lawrence area. And so, yeah, we just, more and more, the more events we do, we see different faces every month. So it's been growing steadily.
So you do events during the year, a number of events, right?
Absolutely. We do usually 3 different types of events. So we're either doing something out there that's charitable or civically, some type of civic engagement. We try to get people to our networking events just to connect and to meet. And then we really try to do a good job of being part of the business community as well.
Now, this was your Christmas party, so this was very recent. Okay, somebody has an ugly sweater. And there's some of the folks in there, right? You can give them a little bit of a shout out. And this was an event you did when and where? With who was this? Well, this was with Alpha, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, this was early last year, I remember.
That was the education event.
Yeah.
This is the Alpha event.
Okay, this is the Alpha.
Emerging Leaders event.
Yeah, so you had a full house there as well. And as you can tell from the photos, a lot of young people networking, dressed up in suits and very kind of, excited about being there. And these are the events, Liz, that you were talking about, right?
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we're trying to do, to get people who are excited out there and get them together so they can collaborate.
This was some group of supporters as well, right?
Yeah, so that we have our former secretary right in the front I can recognize. But yeah, our network is so big that it really depends on what month which side comes in. Yeah. I think every event there's always new faces, so it's always growing, and it's one of these things that to get in life, to rise in your job, it's all about who you know.
Now I want to present something to you guys because this was something that was talked about a lot. Do you think Lawrence gets a bad rap? There is an issue with the image, and it's come a long way in the last 2 years, I would have to say, with the new mayor. But you guys living in Lawrence and really born and raised, or at least raised in Lawrence, some of you also born and raised, what do you has that been changing a little bit? But how do you feel as youngsters?
So I think that and it's a very appropriate question for us, because that's actually one of our goals, is to try to improve the image of the community by showing that there are a lot of people that do have energy, who do want to get engaged, who care a great deal about the improvement of the community. And in the last 2 years, I do agree, we've been able to capitalize on that with bringing in people. It's just like this. It's not just us. There's a lot of things happening across the board. A lot of different agencies and groups of people who are working we're all working with the same goal of trying to bring the city of Lawrence to the potential that it can be. So we've definitely seen it.
I think, but when we started, it was this sort of negativity when we started, because there were folks that were saying there are no young professionals in Lawrence, and the very few that there are will never want to meet because they want to get out. And then once we showed that that was not true, you saw sort of this like snowball effect within our organization and kind of our movement. And I think what worked for us was there was other things that were in line with what we were doing, trying to change sort of this the perception of the area. And I think what helps is that it's not the Lawrence young professionals, it's the greater Lawrence young professionals. So it's connecting with other young professionals from outside of Lawrence and having them come into the city and having them connect with other professionals from the city, so they can see that it's quite different than what the media might make it out to be.
Well, we want folks to contact you, so I want to put up, we have the website, the Facebook, your email. I know you've got some events coming up next year in 2016, so I think that's probably the best way for people to stay in contact with you. And you guys are actively recruiting, right? So if you're a young professional like ourselves, what is it, 20 to 40?
20 to 40, but we are involved with everybody throughout the city, so we love the support.
Missed it
from
by
every direction.
that much. I'm 19. No, just kidding. All right, guys, good luck. Keep it up. Viva Lawrence, and
Thank you.
keep it up, all right?
Thank you.
Good job, good job. All right, when we come back, the historical collection of images as put together by photojournalist Don West, the legendary Don West, right here on Urban Update.